Hello everyone. Today we'll be discussing about Millman's and reciprocity theorem. Millman's theorem is the theorem which deals with determination of current through a particular branch or through load resistance for a particular circuit. If the circuit is having number of voltage sources connected in parallel with their internal resistances, in that case Millman's theorem will be very much suitable. And reciprocity theorem is a different theorem which we'll be discussing later. So let us start with these theorems today. Today we'll be discussing about statement of Millman's theorem, then its explanation. Statement and explanation will be validated with the help of one numerical. Later we'll be discussing about reciprocity theorem, its explanation, and we'll be solving some numerical on it. So let us start with statement of Millman's theorem. See, it is mentioned here when a number of voltage sources E1, E2, En. That means a number of voltage sources E1, E2, E3, En. If number of voltage sources are connected in such combination, see all these are connected in parallel combination, and all these voltage sources should have some internal resistance for it. Now, if such combinations are there, and if you are asked to find current through the load resistance, then Millman theorem will be applicable. So as I said, for a particular network in which voltage sources are connected in parallel, in that case, Millman's theorem will be very much suitable to find current through a particular branch. Now, the statement is when a number of voltage sources are in parallel, having internal resistances R1, R2 up to Rn respectively, the arrangement can be replaced by a single voltage source EEQ with equivalent series resistance REQ as given below. So Millman's theorem says if this is the given circuit, then this given circuit can be represented by this a small circuit in which EEQ and REQ are equivalent voltage source and equivalent resistance of the network respectively. So Millman's theorem simplifies the given circuit in a simple circuit. Now how to determine EEQ and REQ, that we'll be discussing later. So as per statement of Millman's theorem, any electrical network comprising different voltage sources with their internal resistances connected in parallel, then that complex circuit can be represented by an equivalent circuit which comprises one voltage source with a series resistance. Now what should be magnitude of voltage source and series resistance, that we'll be discussing in next slides. So how to get the equivalent resistance, that is EEQ, how to get equivalent voltage source, that is VEQ or EEQ, and equivalent resistance of the network, that is REQ. So E1, E2, E3, all these are connected in parallel with their internal impedances. So this combination, E1 R1 combination, is in parallel with E2 R2 combination. So this together, E1 R1 together is the voltage source. This voltage source is connected in parallel with another likewise. So how to calculate equivalent voltage of the entire network? See, first what will you do? As these are connected in parallel, so it is better for us to convert this voltage source with series resistance into a current source with parallel resistance. This conversion is already discussed in source conversion part. So I'm not going into details of this. How to convert voltage source to current source, that is already been discussed. See here, E1 and R1. Now, what should be the magnitude of the current? Magnitude of the current should be E1 by R1. So what is G1? G is termed as conductance. As you all know, G is termed as conductance, which is equals to 1 by R. So conductance is reciprocal of resistance. Resistance opposes flow of current. Conductance allows flow of current. So more the value of conductance, lesser will be resistance. Consequently, more will be the current through the path. Now, this combination can be represented by a current source with a parallel resistance. Now, current source should have a magnitude of E1 by R1. 1 by R1 can be represented by G1. So magnitude of the current source is E1 G1. And this is the conductance of the parallel network. Similarly, E2R2 can be combined into this. So E1R1 is combined into this, E2R2 into this, and E3R3 into this. Likewise, we can make conversion for each of the series combination of E1R1, E2R2, E3R3. Okay. Now the question is, why did we make this parallel? Did we make this source conversion? Because for parallel connected current sources, see, all these currents will be added together. So what will be total current through this path? Total current through this path will be I1 plus I2 plus I3. Likewise, similarly, why conductance is placed here? What is equivalent resistance of parallelly combined resistors? Equivalent resistance will be 1 by Req, where Req is equivalent resistance. Equivalent resistance can be calculated by 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. Now, in terms of conductance, what will happen? 1 by Req is Geq. 1 by R1 is G1. 1 by R2 is G2. And so on. So, first, for parallel combination, it is better for us to first determine equivalent conductance, that is G1 plus G2 plus G3. Once GQ is found, this is simple addition. So calculation of G1 plus G2 is much easier than calculating 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. That is why we first will convert this in terms of conductance. Conductance will be added together. Once GQ is found, REQ will be 1 by GQ. That is why for parallel circuits, it is better to convert all the voltage sources in terms of current sources, and then we can perform the operation. Okay. So first step was to convert all the voltage sources in terms of current sources. Second step, as I already discussed, all these current sources, I1, I2, I3, all these current sources, if we apply KCL at this point, KCL at this point, all these I1 plus I2 plus I3 will be added together. So current through this path will be I1 plus I2 plus I3. So total current through this load will be I1 plus I2 plus I3 through this path. Total current through this path will be I1 plus I2 plus I3. And what is GT? GT is for parallel combination, as I already discussed, it should be G1 plus G2 plus G3. Okay. So IT is found, GT is found. So this entire network, is producing I1 plus I2 plus I3 current, which is mentioned here by IT. And total resistance of the network in terms of conductance will be GT, which is G1 plus G2 plus G3. So this entire part can be represented by this one. Okay, next. Once this part is obtained, what will you do? We will now convert this current source in terms of voltage source. So what should be EQ? EQ equals to I into R. E is I into R. That is I by GT. 1 by GT means R. So EQ can be calculated by IT by GT. E equals to what should it should be IT V equals to IR. So E equals to IT into RT. Now RT equals to what? 1 by GT. So IT by GT can be written as EQ. And this parallel resistance will be combined now in series. So which will be 1 by GT. Okay. So this is the total resistance of the circuit and this is the total voltage of the circuit. So this circuit is mentioned earlier in statement. See EQ, REQ and RL. So as I said, statement is clear. Statement says we can convert this complex circuit to the simple one. The question was, what should be magnitude of EQ and REQ? To get the magnitude of EQ and REQ, see here, EQ equals to IT by GT, REQ equals to 1 by GT. Now, IT by GT, IT equals to what? I1 plus I2 plus I3. If current is in opposite direction, then it will be minus. So that is why it is plus minus written. And GT is G1 plus G2 plus G3 up to Gn. Okay. Now, I1 equals to what? I1 equals to E1 into G1, I2 equals to E2 G2. So here we have substituted I1 by E1 G1, I2 by E2 G2, likewise, divided by G1 plus G2 plus Gn. And REQ equals to what? 1 by GT. As I said, REQ equals to total resistance equals to 1 by total conductance. Total conductance GT is found as G1, G2, G3. Addition of all this, G1 plus G2 plus G3. Okay, so this is how you can find EQ and you can find REQ. Now see, E1 is known to you, R1 is known to you. So if R1 is known, G1 is known to you. So to find EQ, E1, G1, E2, G2, E3, G3, G1, G2, G3, all these are known. So EQ can be found. Similarly, REQ also can be found. So finally, you have got these two equations. G1 is replaced by 1 by R1. So all these values are given in the, for a given network, all these values are provided. So you can find EQ and REQ. Okay. Now once EQ and REQ are known, RL, that is load resistance, is also known. So current through this path you can easily determine. Okay. Now let us validate this explanation with the help of one example. It would be more clear to you. Using Millman's theorem, find current through and voltage across RL. So this is RL. So IL and VL is to be found. All values are given. This was the given question. Now, what was the final EQ formula we have got? E1 by R1, E2 by R2, E3 by R3. Addition or subtraction will be all this. Now, E1 is upper plus, lower minus. E3 upper plus, lower minus. In the given circuit also, which was explained, all are plus with the upper plate. But here, as E2 is having a minus in the upper plate, so see E1 by R1 minus E2 by R2. Okay, you can convert this like this. E2 can be converted like this. This of minus E2. That is why it would be minus of E2. Okay. Now this, see all these values R1, R2, R3, U1, E2, E3 all are known. So you can easily be found here. So EQ, just substitute all the values, you will get EQ equals to 2.11 volt. Similarly, REQ equals to What's the formula for Req? See, 1 by R1. Req equals to 1 by G1 plus G2 plus G3. G1 is 1 by R1. So finally we will get Req equals to 1 by R1, 1 by R2, 1 by R3. So substituting the values of R1, R2, R3, you will get Req equals to this. Okay. So what should be IL? IL equals to EQ, that is 2.11 volt. EQ divided by RL plus Req. So IL is 0.52 ohm, 0.52 ampere. So VL is current flowing through voltage across RL, which is having 3 ohm resistance. So IL into RL will be VL. So VL equals to IL RL. So this is how we can find current through a particular branch or voltage across a particular branch if all the voltage sources with their internal impedances or resistances are connected in parallel. Millman's theorem can be applied to determine this voltage or current through a particular load. Now let us discuss reciprocity theorem. As the name implies, what is a reciprocal network, or what is this theorem deals with? Suppose we have a voltage source here. If you find current through this path is I ampere, then if we alter these two, if voltage source is placed here and you try to find current through this branch, then as per reciprocity theorem, suppose due to this E voltage source, current through this path is say 5 ampere. Then if voltage source is placed in this branch through which before we measure the current, then current through the path in which initially voltage was connected will be same. Okay, so the current I in any branch, current I in any branch of a network, current I in any branch of a network due to a single voltage source, due to a single voltage source. Reciprocity theorem is applicable for single voltage source only. Due to a single voltage source E anywhere else in the network. That means anywhere else in the network means if you are going to find current through this branch, in anywhere else the network, if E is placed, then that current, this I current will be equal to the current through the branch in which source was originally located if the source is placed in the branch in which current I was originally measured. That means, as I said, if current through this branch is I due to this E source, now if we alter E and I, then this current will be same as this I. Okay, if branches are altered. Now let us explain this theorem with the help of this numerical. See what happens here. Suppose there is a voltage source of 45 volt here. Let us verify reciprocity theorem, or let us verify whether this network is reciprocal or not. Let us try to find current I through this branch. How to find I through this branch? First we need to find IS, then we'll apply current divider rule. So to find IS, first we need to calculate equivalent resistance of the network. So R3, R4 are in series. So R3, R4 are in series. With this series combination, R2 is in parallel. R2 is in parallel. With this entire combination, R1 is in series. This is very basic. We already discussed all this series parallel combination of resistances. So RT is found to be 15 ohm. Now if RT is 15 ohm, then IS will be 45 by 15. That is 3 ampere. So what should be I? I will be found using voltage divide, current divider rule. So R2 is 6. Current I is flowing through 2 and 4 ohm. So 2 and 4 ohm are in series, that is 6 ohm. This is IS. This is IS, which is found to be 3 ampere. So 3 ampere will be divided equally in two resistors, as these are having same resistance. So this will be 1.5 ampere. So I will be 1.5 ampere. So I is 1.5 ampere through this path. Now, if these positions are altered, that means E is placed here. What should be I? To this branch in which originally E was located. Again, let us try to find current will be flowing like this. So this branch is in parallel with this. So these two are in parallel, R1 and R2 are in parallel. So R1 and R2 are in parallel. With this parallel combination, R3 and R4 are in series. R3 and R4 are in series. So you have got RT equals to 10 ohm. Clear? Now as RT is 10 ohm, so what would be I? IS will be 45 by 10, that is 4.5 ampere. Okay. Now what should be this current? This is 4.5 ampere. So now applying current divider rule, I will be, here it is given, I equals to what? Which one is, we are going to find current through this branch. So which one is opposite resistance? 6 ohm. So 6 divided by 6 plus 12 into total current 4.5. That is 1.5 ampere. So see, in previous case, when E was here and we are measuring I through this path, current was 1.5 ampere. Now as E is placed in that branch through which originally current was measured in last case, and if we want to measure I through that branch in which E was originally located, then the same current we are getting. So this implies reciprocity theorem is verified for this circuit. This is to be also mentioned that reciprocity theorem cannot be applied in all the networks. The networks which validate reciprocity theorem are said to be reciprocal network. So today we have discussed about Millman's theorem and reciprocity theorem. Millman's theorem tells us how to define, determine current through a particular branch or voltage across a particular load if voltage sources with their internal resistances or impedances are connected in parallel. So for parallelly combined voltage sources with their internal resistances, Millman's theorem is very much suitable to get the voltage value or current value through load. And reciprocity theorem says if for a reciprocal network, voltage source is there, one single voltage source is there, and we are going to measure current through a particular branch, then if their position is altered, then current through that branch in which E was originally located will be same as the previous case. So these two are two theorems associated with network theorem module. So here we are ending up today. We have completed module 2. In next class, we'll be starting discussing about graph theory, which is in module 3. So as of now, I am ending up here. In next class, we'll meet with all of you with graph theory part. Thank you all.